Ever get curious about those places you see on like documentaries or read about online? The ones that are super secretive?
Mm.
Or crazy dangerous, where the whole do not enter thing isn't even close to covering it.
Yeah, like you practically get arrested for even thinking about going there.
Right. So today, we're doing a deep dive into 7 of those spots, places you and I will almost definitely never be allowed to visit.
Oh, this is going to be good.
So get this. We've got government top secret stuff, places that are literally deadly haunted spots, and mysteries people have been trying to figure out for centuries. It's kind of amazing how many ways the world has to keep things hidden.
It is. And some of these places, they're not just like hidden away, they're guarded like crazy. Think razor wire, armed guards, the works, and others. Well, they're protected by being basically impossible to reach or by the people who live there and want to keep them untouched.
Exactly. So today, we're going to try and crack these 7 forbidden zones. What makes them so off limits, and what exactly is going on inside. Because there's got to be some juicy stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Think of this as like getting backstage at the most exclusive event ever, except no one, not even the VIPs, can really get in.
I like that.
So we'll be looking at the mystery of Area 51, the total isolation of North Sentinel Island, the hidden stuff in the Vatican secret archives, the seriously spooky Poveglia Island, the Doomsday Vault,
Oh, and we can't forget the Lost Amber Room. I mean, who doesn't love a good treasure hunt?
and then there's Moscow's Metro 2, which may or may not even exist.
Okay, so first up, let's head straight to the Nevada desert. Area 51. This U.S. Air Force base has been the king of conspiracy theories for decades.
It's amazing, right? For years, the government basically pretended it didn't exist, which obviously made people even more curious.
Oh, for sure. Like telling someone they can't do something just makes them want to do it even more.
Exactly. And it wasn't until 2013 that they finally admitted it was real, but that long silence, well, it kind of says a lot, don't you think?
It totally does. And the theories, wild. I mean, we're talking everything from super advanced planes, which is the official story, to, alien spaceships, maybe even some actual aliens hanging out there.
Right. And that's what's so intriguing about Area 51. It plays right into our fascination with the unknown.
Okay, but seriously, why so much security for just a testing site? You've got motion sensors, armed guards who can literally shoot you.
It makes you wonder, right? What are they really guarding in there? Is it just tech? Or is it something that could totally change how we see the world?
Maybe they're hiding the fact that the Earth is flat or that birds aren't real. Okay, I'm kidding. Mostly.
But seriously, even after they acknowledged it, what goes on there is still super hush-hush.
So, Area 51, a perfect example of a forbidden place, state secrets and all that.
Okay, so from government secrets, let's shift gears. Now, we're talking about a place that's off limits for a totally different reason. The people who live there absolutely want to be left alone, and they're willing to fight for it.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
We're heading to North Sentinel Island, part of the Andaman Islands out in the Indian Ocean.
Okay, I've heard of this, and it's kind of mind-blowing. A whole community, the Sentinelese people, who have zero interest in the outside world, no technology, no internet, no cars. It's like a time capsule.
Exactly, and they make it very clear they don't want visitors. Anyone who tries to land there is met with, well, let's just say they don't roll out the welcome mat.
More like roll out the spears and arrows.
It's their way of protecting their way of life, their culture. And honestly, you got to respect that.
And to their credit, the Indian government pretty much leaves them alone. They've even made it illegal to go near the island, mostly to protect the Sentinelese from diseases because they wouldn't have any immunity.
It's a tough situation, right? Balancing their right to be left alone with, making sure they survive.
Absolutely. And there was that really sad story in 2018, a missionary who tried to go there, never heard from again.
Yeah, a tragic reminder. You can't just ignore their wishes. They're serious about their isolation.
So think about it. In a world that's constantly connected, what's the value of being totally cut off? North Sentinel Island is like a frozen moment in time, fiercely protected by the people who call it home.
Next, let's go from physical isolation to, well, information control. We're diving deep beneath Vatican City into the Vatican secret archives. It's not about keeping people out physically, but about controlling what they can know.
Right, so we're talking about a mega library. It's been around for 12 centuries, filled with old manuscripts, letters between popes and kings, all kinds of stuff. Can you imagine the sheer volume of history packed into that place?
And that's what makes it so fascinating. Think of the secrets it holds. Letters between historical bigwigs, maybe revealing new stuff about major events, religious debates, even early science.
And then there are the rumors, right? Prophecies, lost religious texts.
Oh, and let's not forget the wilder theories. Proof of aliens, hidden accounts of biblical events. It's a giant vault of secrets just waiting to be unlocked.
So even if you're a legitimate researcher, getting in is tough. Tons of permissions, and even then you can only see certain documents. It makes you wonder who gets to decide what we can learn from history and what stays hidden, and what does that say about how we understand the past?
It's a unique kind of forbidden place. The barrier isn't physical, it's knowledge itself.
Okay, ready for a change of pace?
Sure, what do you have in mind?
From a place hiding history to a place haunted by it. Let's talk about Pavaglia Island, out in the Venetian lagoon off the coast of Italy.
Oh yeah, Pavaglia. It's got quite the reputation.
It's known as one of the most haunted places on the planet. And, well, its history makes that pretty believable.
It's a dark history. When the Black Plague hit, Pavaglia was a quarantine zone. Tens of thousands of people died there. Just imagine all that suffering concentrated on one tiny island.
It's hard to even wrap your head around.
The way they dealt with the plague. Mass graves, burning bodies. It's a grim reminder of how we used to handle outbreaks.
It's no wonder people think it's haunted. Like, the sheer volume of death, it has to leave some kind of mark, right?
Definitely. And it gets worse. In the 20th century, they built a mental asylum there. And the stories from that time, seriously creepy.
Yeah, I've heard some of those. Talk about disturbing, like rumors of terrible experiments on the patients.
And then there's the story of the asylum's head doctor. Supposedly, he jumped or was pushed from the bell tower. People said they saw ghostly hands pulling him down. Whether it's true or not, those stories are now part of Pavaglia's legacy.
Today, the island is completely closed off. Nobody can go there. It's forbidden not by any official rules, but because of this shared sense of dread.
It's a reminder that history can really leave its mark on a place, sometimes so strongly that it makes people avoid it altogether.
It's a physical reminder of how the past can shape our present.
It really makes you think.
Okay, let's switch gears again. From a place haunted by the past to one built for the future. We're talking about the Svalbard Global Seed Vault. It's deep inside a mountain in Norway.
They call it the Doomsday Vault, which, I mean, is pretty dramatic.
Dramatic but accurate, right? It's basically a giant safe for the world's seeds. Over 1 million different samples.
They're protecting our food supply in case of a huge disaster like war, climate change, anything that could wipe out crops. It's like a backup plan for humanity.
And the way it's built is incredible. Earthquakes, floods, even a nuclear attack.
Yeah.
This thing is designed to withstand it all.
Which is a good thing, considering what they're protecting.
It's kind of humbling, to think that people planned for something this big.
It really shows how important those seeds are, and it's not just some abstract idea. They've already used the vault. During the Syrian civil war, they retrieved seeds that had been lost. So it's not just a symbolic thing, it's actually saving lives.
So listeners, think about it. What's our responsibility to future generations? And what are we willing to do to protect them? The Doomsday Vault is a pretty stark reminder that we need to take those questions seriously.
And it's not just about reacting to disasters, it's about preventing them. Thinking ahead, making sure we can feed people no matter what happens.
Absolutely. Okay, now let's move on to something completely different. We're going from safeguarding the future to searching for a lost treasure.
Oh, a treasure hunt. I'm in.
Have you ever heard of the Amber Room? It was this amazing chamber made entirely of amber and gold. It was considered the 8th wonder of the world.
I have. It's incredible. Imagine that. A room completely covered in intricately carved amber with gold leaf and precious gems. It must have been breathtaking.
Sadly, it disappeared during World War II. The Nazis stole it, and it's been missing ever since.
It's one of those mysteries that just captures the imagination. What happened to it? Where did it go?
Right. Some people think it was destroyed in the bombings. Others believe it's hidden somewhere, waiting to be found, maybe in a bunker or an abandoned mine.
If it were ever found, can you imagine how much it would be worth? Probably hundreds of millions of dollars. It's incredible to think that this masterpiece could be out there somewhere.
It would be a huge historical event. And, finding something like that, it's almost forbidden. Like, it feels too good to be true.
It really shows how fragile culture can be, especially during war. And it proves that some mysteries just never die.
All right, last stop. We're heading back underground, this time to Moscow. Buckle up, because we're entering the realm of pure speculation.
Let's do it.
We're talking about Metro 2. Supposedly, it's a secret underground metro system. The thing is, the Russian government has never confirmed it exists.
So we're dealing with rumors and whispers, but that's half the fun, right?
Right. And the rumors are juicy. It was supposedly built during the Cold War to transport important people in case of a nuclear attack. Basically an underground city ready for the apocalypse.
Some people say it's way bigger than the regular Moscow metro. Imagine that, a whole hidden network of tunnels and bunkers, like something out of a spy movie.
Exactly. And while the official story is, whoop, doesn't exist, sometimes declassified documents hint at it being real. So who knows?
It's a glimpse into how people thought during the Cold War. The fear, the paranoia, the lengths they went to for security.
The idea of a secret city hidden under a major capital, it's pretty mind-blowing.
It really is.
So there you have it, 7 forbidden places. From Area 51 to North Sentinel Island, the Vatican Archives, to the Doomsday Vault, the Lost Amber Room, and the maybe real Metro, too. They're places of secrets, danger, and mystery.
They show us the limits of what we can know and where we can go. Reminders that some things are just beyond our reach.
So here's a final thought for you. Knowing what you know about these places, the reasons they're off limits, the stories, the mysteries, if you could pick just one to visit, which would it be, and why?
Which one calls to you the most?
It's something to think about. Until next time, keep exploring.
And stay curious.